Kelly Lake is an Indigenous community with a rich and vibrant history. Our land is our sustenance and our livelihood. It's the core of our community and cultural life. Our way of life depended on hunting, fishing, trapping, and gathering berries. We have never surrendered the right to do this, but we feel it has definitely been taken away. Due to industry and the outsiders coming in and making rules and regulations and putting a road into Kelly Lake. We didn't have a road.
The problems. The problems we face here is the lack of support for Kelly Lake that is readily available to other Indigenous communities. There has been a decline in services, including housing and population decline in our community. Most of our population lives outside of Kelly Lake, but want to return home as soon as they can once we are able to provide housing, which will be soon, I hope. Our solutions. In 2018, Nigi Management and Community Development Society was formed to pursue housing and services and infrastructure in our community. It became clear that without a single recognized government, all of our levels of government would continue to underserve and undersupport our community. So our Kelly Lake government needs to be chosen and run by our community. It is important for our community to have a say in who runs our community.
So our solutions to the land is legitimate, recognized. Kelly Lake government will also protect Indigenous rights over our lands. Community excluded from decisions regarding use and development of lands. The denial of our Indigenous rights has led to significant damage to our lands. All those areas are just becoming obsolete. All we're seeing now is our lands being destroyed. It's hard to recognize where you've actually gone to do your traditional activities.
People want to move back home. People want to have further resources. People want to have more development in the community regarding housing, regarding employment, education, training, because we've never had that. So, community members called for an inclusive process to build a legitimate and recognized government to ensure the continuation and well-being of our community. Governance process began in 2022 when our community started coming together to collectively chart a way forward. Nigi has supported this process as the facilitator of community meetings and gatherings as an independent and inclusive society working on behalf of all community members regardless of cultural or political affiliation. We have worked collectively and through the leadership of our elders. We respect their knowledge and rely on their teachings, wisdom, and guidance.
The governance development process started in March 2023. We began drafting a plan for a governance process. Then in May 2023, our Elders Committee was consulted in this process and was providing us guidance on our way forward. So in June 2023, a community meeting took place to share the proposed process, gather community input, and ensure that the community was at the center of the decision making from the very beginning. This meeting confirmed a process with 3 stages: community working group, governance committee, and a government.
Mamueta skill means working together. Stage 1, a community-based working group collaboratively creates a draft terms of reference and voting process for a governance committee. This working group has 20 community members and elders and is named Mamueta Skill Cree for working together. June to August 2023, Mamueta Skill met regularly in person and over Zoom to determine appropriate makeup or structure for the governance of how the community would participate in the determination. August to September 2023, Mamueta Skill held community meetings to present and amend the government's committee terms of reference and voting process, with the community making each decision along the way. Governance committee would be made up of 7 individuals: an elder, 2 youth, 2 community representatives, 1 person with traditional knowledge and language, 1 person with experience working with government and industry. September 2023, a democratic vote took place in Kelly Lake through which the 7 members of the governance committee were elected.
So, stage 2, governance committee was tasked to draft governing documents for the basis of an Indigenous government and the process through which a government would be determined. The timeline is now 1 year, October 2023 to October 2024. The governance committee holds community meetings once a month to be fully engaged in the process, making decisions each step of the way. Stage 3. Kelly Lake government will begin the process of building the structures and relationships to move Kelly Lake forward as an Indigenous community. The Kelly Lake government will be installed in November 2024. The makeup, term, mandate, and authorities of the Kelly Lake government will be determined by the community, reflecting our traditional practices. Our governance process has affirmed important aspects of who we are as a community and how we self-determine. We operate relationally and collectively. Everyone in our community has a place and a role in how we make decisions and how we work together.
We are a unified community with Indigenous rights, which include rights over our territory. We require that others approach us with the respect and full recognition of our Indigenous rights. Anyone who wishes to operate in our territory is obligated to work through free, prior, and informed consent.
As stated in the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples have the right to maintain and strengthen their distinctive spiritual and material relationship with the lands, territories, waters, coastal sea, and other resources which they have traditionally owned or otherwise occupies or used, and to uphold their responsibilities for future generations in this regard.
It is our intent to assert and protect our inherent rights to our lands, our culture, and self-determination. We will once again become a thriving community, secure in our culture, language, and identity, and connected to healthy lands and waters.